First question says the probability of Oliver scoring a penalty is 0.7. He takes 30 penalties. How many goals should he score? So if the probability of him scoring a penalty is 0.7, we will multiply the probability by the number of penalties he took. Move the decimal one place to the right. The 0 gets cancelled out. So now it's going to be 7 times 3, which is 21. So he's going to make 21 goals. We have an inequality where it says 2x is greater than -5 but less than equal to 4. X is an integer. Write down all the possible values of x. So to find the possible values of x, what we're going to do is we're going to divide all of these numbers by 2. Because our goal is to find the value of x. And right now, this inequality would help us finding the values of 2x, not x. So to make x the subject, we divide everything by 2. And that gives us -5/2, x, and 2. So we know -5/2 is -2.5. Now we have to write all of the possible values of x that come in this inequality. So that's going to be -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. That's your answer. Rectangles ABCD and EFGH are similar. AD is given as 1.25, AB is given as 7 centimeters, and EH is 5 centimeters. Work out the length of EF. You have to find this length. So since both the rectangles are similar, your ratio of AD over EH is going to equal to your ratio of AB over EF. The condition for similar shapes is that, like, for example, if we're looking at AD, like the rectangle ABCD and rectangle EFGH, AD is similar to EH. So if they're similar to each other, the fraction of these two lengths would equal to the fraction of another set of similar lengths. That's why AD over EH is equal to AB over EF. And one thing you need to make sure that when you're making the fractions, like for example, we took the length of ABCD in the numerator in the first fraction. So that means in the other fraction, the length of ABCD would be in the numerator, not of EFGH. That's why AD was numerator in the first fraction. So AB was also the numerator in the second fraction. So you have to be very careful about that. So we do 1.25 over 5 equals to 7 over EF. Cross multiply. So EF is basically going to be 7 times 5 over 1.25. So that's going to be 35 divided by 1.25. And that's going to give us 28. So 28 centimeters is your length of EF. A line has the equation y equals to 3x plus 4. Write down the gradient of the line. So slope-intercept form is y equals to mx plus c, where m is your gradient and c is your y-intercept. So the equation we have y equals to 3x plus 4. Since m is the coefficient of x, which is the gradient, that means our gradient is going to be 3 for this line. Then it says write down the coordinates of the y-intercept. As I said, the c value gives us the y-intercept, which is the constant. So y-intercept is going to equal to 4. The question is asking for coordinates. So coordinates would be 0, 4. At the y-intercept, x is always 0. For the x-intercept, y is always going to be 0. Then it says factorize x squared plus 4x minus 12. So we will first multiply the quotient of x squared with a constant. So that's 1 times 12, which is equal to 12. Now we find factors of this product. So we know 4 times 3 is 12 and 6 times 2 is 12, apart from 1 times 12. Once we found the factors, now we choose that set of factors which when added or subtracted give us the middle term, which is 4x. So we know 1 plus 12 is 13 and 12 minus 1 is 11. If I write this down over here, 1 plus 12 is 13. 12 minus 1 is 11. So 1 times 12 is not one of our options. 4 plus 3 is 7. 4 minus 3 is 1. So 4 and 3 are also out of our options. 6 minus 2 is 4. And 6 plus 2 is 8. As you can see, 6 minus 2 gives us 4, which is the middle term. So we can use 6 minus 2 to replace 4x. So we're going to do x squared plus 6x minus 2x minus 12. As you can see, 6x minus 2x is 4x, and 4x is 6x minus 2x. So we can easily replace it with these two factors. Now we're going to do factor by grouping. So when I say factor by grouping, what I mean is that we're going to divide the equation into two groups. First group is x squared plus 6x, and second one is negative 2x minus 12. So we're going to factor these into separate groups. Between x squared and 6x, we have x common. So x times x plus 6. And between negative 2x and negative 12, we have negative 2 common. That's going to be x plus 6 over here. Between x and negative 2, we have x plus 6 common. So x minus 2 comes in the other bracket. So that's your fully factorized answer for this quadratic equation. Then for the next question, it says factorize x squared minus 25. This equation is following the rule of difference of perfect squares. By a difference of perfect squares, what I mean is that we have two perfect squares being subtracted. As you can see, x is being squared and 25 is basically 5 square. So you can rewrite this as x whole square minus 5 whole square. And the way we can factorize a square minus b square is by doing a minus b times a plus b, which means our answer would be x minus 5 times x plus 5. That is your fully factorized answer for this quadratic equation.